Hi planner friends, I hope you're all doing well. It's been such a long time since I last uploaded any videos, and honestly, while working on this one, I was a bit nervous if it will turn out the way I imagined it in my head. Anyway, I'm back now, and hopefully there will be no more long breaks. In this video, I am setting up my Hobonichi Techo Original, which I'll be using next year as my health planner. But before we start with the setup, hi, I'm Dragana from Dragana's Crafts, a journal enthusiast and stationery lover. The stationery I used to set up this planner is from Marigona Suli, and the sponsor of today's video, Ieebee, or Ieebee? I'm not honestly sure if I'm pronouncing the name properly. I'm probably not, but Ieebee is a small stationery shop that offers washi tapes, scrapbook supplies, and other journaling related items. I was surprised and grateful when they reached out to me, especially since I've been taking such a long break from social media. They asked me if I would like to pick some of their products and review them. My choices were the Morandi washi tape set and Morandi scrapbook paper, which you'll see me using during this setup. The range of their products isn't large, but they have some very cute stuff, and I would recommend you all to check out their website. I'm quite sure everyone can find something to their liking. I didn't use too many different washi tapes in the setup, but I love how the tapes I did pick went perfectly well with Marigona Suli stickers. Both the paper and washi tapes are of good quality. The washi tape set I got has 39 tapes and the colors are soft and beautiful. They also stick very well on the paper. Each roll is 10mm wide and 3 meters long, which isn't much if you use washi tapes a lot in your journals and planners, but the number of tapes in the set compensates for it in my opinion. The price is a bargain as this set costs $20.99. The handmade scrapbook paper set is also in the Morandi series, and you can choose between 4 colors: purple, field, maple, and creams. The paper you see in this video is field color, and this set costs $23.99. It's more expensive compared to the washi tapes, but paper always is. All in all, despite the slightly pricier paper and the washi tapes not being too long, I'm satisfied with the products and I'll definitely purchase something from them in the future. Maybe I'll even pick something that normally wouldn't be my first choice to challenge my creative side because I really saw a lot of interesting stationery. So a big thank you to Ieebee for sponsoring this video, and if you decide to purchase something from them, I'll have the referral link in the description box below for 30% off your order, or you can use the code Dragana to get the same discount. Also, everything that I used in this video that is still available for purchase will be linked in the description box below. Now about the setup itself. I purchased some stickers and washi tapes from Marigona Suli a while back, and I've been dying to use them. But for some reason, every time I went through my stash with the idea of using the stickers and washi tapes, I would give up because I was afraid that my creation wouldn't turn out how I imagined it in my head, and that I would ruin the stickers that aren't exactly on the cheap side. I don't know if that's just me or if you guys have that feeling sometimes too. However, this time I was determined to use the stickers, which came with this gorgeous thank you card. I knew I was going to paste it in a planner somewhere the moment I saw it. I mean, just look at the design. It's so stunning and magical. The thank you card was a bit bigger than the A6 notebook, so I had to trim it down. At first, I thought to paste the card directly on the front cover, but I didn't like the yellow background. That's when I decided to use one of the Ieebee scrapbook papers as the background and paste the thank you card on top. I didn't want to leave the straight edges, so I used a corner punch to round them off, though it gave me grief at first because the thank you card is of thick cardstock and I couldn't punch it through, but I managed in the end. And guys, I think I made the right decision to cover the yellow cover of the Hobonichi because the combination of the purples on the card and the green brownish background is a jackpot. The scrap pieces of scrapbook paper I also used because I really hate wasting good stationery. Since I decorated the front cover, I wanted to do the same with the back cover because this journal will be snugged in the clear cover all year round and I want it to be pretty every time I look at it. Also, I noticed when I started editing the video that very often it wasn't visible what I was doing because I was doing it outside of the camera, so I do apologize for that. Clearly, I'm rusty with filming. Next time, I'll make sure not to repeat this rookie mistake. So I glued the scrap pieces on the back cover, and I could have left it like that because the paper is textured and the color is really pretty. However, I wanted to use some washi tapes on the back cover. So the textured paper is the background for the washi tapes. Unfortunately, I ran out of roller double-sided glue tape and regular double-sided tape, so I had to use the glue stick, which I hate. I really hate using glue sticks because very often they don't stick that well. The design moves till the glue catches and it's messy. My hands were so sticky the whole time and I was obsessing that I'll smudge something in the process. Luckily, that didn't happen in the end. The washi tapes I used were pink and green from Ieebee and fairy tale flowers washi tape from Marigona Suli. It took me a bit longer than it should have to decide in which order I was going to place them, but once I made my choice, I was very much pleased with it, until I realized I started placing the washi strips from the wrong side. What I mean is that I started from the spine of the notebook instead from the edge. I wasn't sure how the stickiness of the washi tapes would be since I was repositioning them, but I was pleased that they remained in place once I finished moving them around. There's a small gap close to the spine where the background is visible, but I don't mind. I like the back cover just as it is. Once I was done decorating the back cover, it was time to start with the inside of the journal. In the past, I would decorate the end pages with strips of washi, but this time I wanted to do something different. I picked one of the brown papers from the scrapbook set, trimmed it down to size, and covered the end pages with it. I decided to turn this into a cover page of sorts. Because I used the glue stick, I had to make sure that the paper stuck down well, and I went over the same area several times, pressing everything down nicely and making sure that the paper creased properly every time I closed the notebook. Not wanting to leave it there, I made a frame around the edges of the journal with the same green washi tape I used on the back cover, and it gave it a nice effect. I wrote the title of the journal using Tombow Fudonoski brush pen. The lettering could have been better, but then again, I used to letter my titles much worse than this, so I'll take this as a win. The cover page still looked somewhat empty, so to decorate it, I used all the freebies that came with the Marigona Suli's orders. And guys, I went all out with stickers on a relatively small cover page. I just liked them all so much that I couldn't pick which ones to use. At the end, when I ran out of stickers on the freebie sheets, I added with the trusty Fudonoski some sparkles here and there, and the cover page was complete. Next up, I worked on the next blank page that had the name of this planner on it. One of the papers in the collection was this net-like paper, and I thought it would give a nice effect to the page if I used it as a background and then layered a large sticker on top. That was the general idea, and that's what I did in the end. Sort of. I used one of the Marigona Suli's large vinyl stickers with fairies and books, though I didn't really think about how well the paper that has so many holes on it would stick on the page. I had to add a decent amount of glue so that the paper would stick, and I made a mistake layering the sticker on top too much towards the end of the page. That way it didn't really stick to the Hobonichi paper, but I managed to press it down good enough to stick. I tried to peel it off at one point very gently so that I could reposition it, but the paper below also started shifting, so I left everything as it was. I honestly hope that the sticker won't peel off in the future. Since I didn't position the sticker how I initially wanted, I added strips of washi tape, left of the vinyl and on top of the page, combining the white Fairy Tales Flowers washi tape with pink and green from Ieebee's shop. All in all, I was really satisfied with the result, even though it turned out differently than what I had in mind. After that, I flipped over to the years at the glance spread and decided to cover up 2025 and 2027 calendars because I don't really need them, especially not for the purpose of this notebook. I didn't want to do anything special with this page. I picked a brown paper from the Morandi scrapbook paper collection, trimmed it down to size, and covered up the whole page with it. On top, I pasted another gorgeous vinyl sticker from Marigona Suli called Witch Visiting the Fairy Woods and added some sparkles and stars with the Tombo Fudenosuke. At this point, I wasn't sure what I was going to do with the perpetual calendar spreads, so I decided to leave them for the end. It was easier to add the monthly tabs and just not overthink. The tabs I also purchased from Marigona Suli that in my opinion fit the whole theme perfectly. Now, I'm not much of a pink person, but everything pink that I used in this setup looks stunning, truly gorgeous. Placing the tabs to mark each month gave me a bit of grief because it's a fiddly job, but I managed to place them quite well and I was so pleased with how everything turned out. With the tabs out of the way, it was time to get back to the perpetual calendar, which will serve as the habit tracker. Before doing anything with the spreads, I decided to create a key of some kind to track my steps next year. So I color coded the steps using a couple of mild liners in the same colors as the setup itself. I did mix up the numbers at one point, but I really don't mind. I know what colors represent which number of steps, and that's the most important thing. I still have space left to color code any gym activities once I decide what those will be. As I said, I will use these spreads as a habit tracker, and apart from tracking steps, I also want to record workouts and other health related things. With a pencil, I drew a vertical line in each monthly box, dividing it into two boxes. On the left hand side, I will track my steps, and on the right, everything else. I didn't want to write anything down yet of things I will track because there's still time to think this thoroughly through, but I did mark the steps section, and above it I added tiny strips of washi tape alternating between pink and green on the first two page spread, then purple and lighter green on the next spread, and then going back to purple and green on the last spread of the perpetual calendar. Also, when you can't find a ruler to cut off washi tape, just use anything that has a straight edge like I did here. I have so many rulers, but when I needed just one, it's like it grew legs and disappeared. So I used the sticky notes pad instead to cut off the strips of washi. After adding all the washi strips, I was satisfied how these pages turned out and I decided to leave them there. And with that, the setup of this journal was complete. And now we come to the final flip through. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this setup, and I hope even more that you'll stick around despite my long absence. I have a lot of videos planned and I hope to have them released regularly on a weekly basis. If you watched till the end, leave any kind of flower emoji in the comments. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing. If you do subscribe, press the bell button so that you're notified of all the future videos I release. I'll be seeing you again very soon. Bye!